What's up, guys? My name is Panzanite, and welcome back to more Pikmin. In the last episode, we had finished off the Forest of Hope entirely, while being really annoying, more so than usual, annoying the burrowing Snaglet, and we had also took on the Arcane Beetle a second time. Today, we'll be heading back into the Forest Navel and completing that area off. Excuse me. Honestly, it's actually been a while since I've been to the Forest Navel, so I actually don't remember what the last shift part that we need is. So it may take, like, just a few seconds. It might take the whole entire rest of the day. Who knows? So I'm going to check on the radar, see where it is. Ooh, exactly the shift part I thought it was. So all we need today will be grabbing red Pikmin. And I'll be grabbing, if I remember correctly, I think it's the Libra. So I'll grab 25. Just in case. Cause I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. It literally the same number as Sagittarius, which is the part I just got a little bit ago, on last episode, I mean. So we think I would have to be able to remember this, but I don't remember which one it was. Oh. What it is, I'll probably go and kill those shear wings. Just so they're not in the way. If they actually do decide to go in this direction. I don't know if they will or not. Better be safe than sorry, though. As I was kind of saying in the last episode, more likely than not, because the puzzle's already done and it's just the ship part, it's just kind of waiting to be taken back to the ship. Most likely, we'll be grabbing that ship part, and then we'll be probably going to the impact site again. Most likely. Camera angle. Not a big fan of this angle. Oh, come on. There we go. 15, that's good. 25 should be enough. I believe that might be the max. Oh, you can definitely get on there. Go ahead. Get on there. Get on. Get on. Oh, come on. I see an empty space. Oh, come on. Sometimes it kind of annoys me that the Pikmin won't actually automatically go to a spot. There we go. That should be enough. That should be the maximum, I think. And we really don't have to worry about any of the enemies because aside from the shear wings that they might go that way, the wall wogs are just kind of out of the way and they won't bother us. Also, before I leave, I just want to see where are those 5 Pikmin. So 3 over there, maybe 5. Oh, I see them. I see their doubles over there. Alright, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to grab these Pikmin while the Pikmin are on the ground right now, while the red Pikmin are taking back the Libra. Get Libra over here. No? Here, there. This is from back when I fought the bee long legs. Yeah, that's all flowers. That's interesting. They're all flowers. So I actually was reading this against my better judgment. The day long, I just jumped down and killed the Pikmin that I had right now. Pretty unfortunate, but you know. Also never took down that wall. For some reason. I guess I didn't see it as necessary. At the time. And I still guess it's kind of not necessary. But with that, we got back to Libra. And at the same time, we finished off not so distant spring. We already finished off a couple episodes ago. Libra, my daughter gave this to me. My late return must have her very worried. I've now recovered 28 out of 30 parts. If I find just one more, I should want to increase my ship's capabilities. And now, because we have gotten back the ship part, and we're only just a few minutes into the episode, I'm going to go ahead and go to Sunset. And I'll be heading back into the world map. And they'll be heading into the impact site. So I'm just going to skip this scene. You can skip this at any time, really. Just by pressing A. 14 days since impact. The Pikmin always carry their prey back to the onions. Close observation indicates that taking food pellets to onions of the same color results in the release of larger numbers of Pikmin seeds. I've also found ways to group Pikmin by color. I can hold A to group one, then press B to swap out. Or I can press A to grab one for a moment, or press C to dismiss them into like-colored groups. that's actually really interesting, and something I really should point out right now is that the diary entries or chip log entries are different from other, like they're different depending on how fast you do them. Because I did it so quickly, he's only just now mentioning the fact that the 1 pellets will come back, and yes, it's only the 1 pellets despite what he says. Also, I'll be heading to the impact site for right now. However, before I go on there, day 15 is the last day to take on the Smoky Prog if you have yet to do so already. So if you are following along, but are still a few days behind, just be aware that day 15 is the last day if you want to take one on, if you want to take it on. Also, I want to say if you lose a huge number of Pikmin, say about 80 or more, it most likely is probably not worth it to go against Smoky Prog. So it's not really required. But now that I'm back on the impact site, we might actually spend more than 1 day here because I actually have realized that there are some obstacles in the way. However, as a side note, the impact site is by far the most helpful area to farm up Pikmin numbers and to farm up Pikmin into flowers, because there are two, I think there are 2 iridescent flip beetles around here, maybe just 1, which I'm going to ignore. And there are, as you saw earlier, there were 10 pellets in every single color, and there was a 20 pellet, I believe, somewhere. I believe there's 20 pellets around here somewhere. But my point is, there's 20 pellet over here. Sorry about the awkward cut there. I had to take a phone call real quick. Kind of deal without my supper, so I guess it was kind of important. So anyway, I'll take these yellow Pikmin over here so I can blow up this bomb wall. And also another red 20 pellet over here. And as I said, there is 20 pellets in every single color in this area, so it does make it an excellent place to farm What in the world? There are Pikmin numbers, regardless of color. So I'm just gonna... I'm gonna need to probably erase that in a minute. But I'm gonna take the yellow Pikmin back just because I don't need them anymore. And also, there is a unique enemy, however it's not a boss. That is called the Gulix. It is a water-based enemy, and the only enemy, at least the only time in the game when you see the drowning animation, which I believe is just the Pikmin that aren't blue, will actually have a water on top of their head, on top of where the leaf is, so they kind of suffocate. However, it's not needed for anything. I believe it drops 5 pellets. I believe 5 number pellets. I believe it's of a random color. It's like just random colors when you defeat it. And as you kind of can tell, you can only kill it with blue Pikmin. However, that's only on odd number days. On even number days, I believe on even number days is after it's day 8 and onwards. For odd number, I believe it's 7 and onward. Maybe it's 9. I'll leave like a little annotation up screen just to make sure. It just in case I'm wrong, I believe it's 9 and onwards. For odd numbers, it's a Gulix. On the even numbers, you have a different enemy called the Mamuda, which is, I recommend if you need a lot of flower Pikmin of any color, I would recommend coming here during an even number day, because the Mamuda will not actually kill Pikmin. It is actually very, very friendly and will kind of more or less ignore, I believe it kind of more or less ignore Olimar for the most part. And instead of killing it, it will actually smash Pikmin into the ground. Kind of like how the Super Exchange Bug does, where it plants them into the ground. However, it it'll immediately become flowers. I found the positron generator. By combining batteries with solar cells, this machine can generate incredible amounts of electricity. What a timely find. Those instant space noodles will taste better heated up. And also, I actually failed to even acknowledge these enemies. These are all enemies over here. All of these clans, they're all enemies. And what you kind of have to... I'm just going to destroy this wall first because it's just quicker this way. What you pretty much do is you throw Pikmin into them, and then as they lock up, as they're reeling back up to snap down on Pikmin, that's when you call them back. And you kind of do this like 2 or 3 times, depending on which one it is. So I think the red Pikmin can take that one down in probably 2 cycles. The other ones probably take about 3. It kind of depends on how many Pikmin you're actually able to throw in to the Pearly Clan's mouth. So, aside from getting the slash hit part, I'm actually going to spend the rest of the day farming up red Pikmin numbers. Because I don't know if I need them specifically. think I need them particularly for anything actually, because I have all the ship parts at 1 now. I think I'm, yeah, 200 almost blue Pikmin. I'll actually grab the 20 pellets for the red Pikmin and the yellow Pikmin, so they can both have an extra 20 for both of them. Because I do need them all. I need all the Pikmin, every other Pikmin for something else to get the last ship part. I mean, but anyway, enough of that. We have our almost last ship part, second to last. The Positon generator. This electric generator is so powerful that if you approach it carelessly, you'll get an electric shock. I've now recovered 29 out of 30 parts, increasing the Dolphin's capabilities. My search can now cover a wider area. And with that, we have only one more ship part to do to actually get. And on top of that, we are very, very close to finishing the game. However, on that note, I would like to actually, not actually show, but actually mention that there are 3 different endings to Pikmin. There is the bad ending, the neutral ending, / good ending, and the perfect ending / the great ending. Now, the bad ending happens when you don't get all necessary 25 parts that you need to be able to ship to set off. Like pretty much Almar was saying all the time, saying maybe you don't need all the ship parts. Maybe some of them aren't really needed. Well, if you don't get all the needed 25 ship parts, then you will have a bad ending where Almar will actually become a Pikmin, more or less. Then the neutral ending. Oh, that actually scares me. The neutral ending, which pretty much happens if you have anywhere between. You pretty much have to have the 25 needed parts, the absolute necessary parts, and not have gotten all of the other 5 optional parts. This can be any 5, pretty much any 5 of your choosing. I believe we only counted 4 ship parts that were not necessary so far. And maybe it's 5, I don't remember it off my head. But from that, you can kind of tell, that's pretty much, yeah, come on. I'm trying to figure out my thoughts. You get 25 of the parts, you get neutral ending, which is kind of just Almar going off. And I don't remember what the biggest difference is between that and the perfect ending. But just know there is some sort of difference. So now I'm gonna go put up all these yellow Pikmin. And what I'll do right now, actually, once the red Pikmin come back and once they have planted once all the seeds are planted, I'm actually gonna go after one of the Pearly clans that the red Pikmin can actually go after, because I believe, if I remember correctly, their pearls give 50 Pikmin to any color, like to whatever color you choose. It is really, really good. It's kind of like the gold pearl from the Smoky Prog, except not as effective, I guess. But 50 is still a lot. This is kind of why I said this is hands down the best place to farm Pikmin, because you can easily get over 100 of any Pikmin number, and you can arguably get, I don't even know how many you can get off of this if you get everything at once. I'm always gonna stop doing that real quick. Come back here. That was close. You can actually get quite a lot of Pikmin numbers up within one day. And this is usually helpful if you ever are down a lot of Pikmin numbers and you absolutely need Pikmin numbers, like I kind of do right now. For red Pikmin anyway, because I still want to have a good amount of red Pikmin, even though I don't think they're that useful at this point. Even though I guess they're all I technically still need them. But I don't think there's any more bosses that absolutely need Pikmin, like specific types of Pikmin. Well, I guess it'll all make sense later. So what I'm gonna do now is kind of have these Pikmin kind of get up some nectar, just so I can flower up the Pikmin that are still on the ground, because I'm not gonna bother waiting for them to get down. That was a third spot, isn't there? Around here? Maybe not. But this is like since it's also the first area of the game, it's also kind of interesting that first area, also the best place to farm Pikmin. That's the thing I'll do while I'm waiting for this to finish, all the flower Pikmin or all the Pikmin in the ground to flower and everything. I will actually attempt to show how to defeat the Gulix. You know, most likely I will not be able to defeat it because of the huge amount of Pikmin that I probably would need. You know, I guess this is probably, you really need a lot of Pikmin, but it'll be helpful. What you need to do is, the Gulix is formed as if it was kind of cell with 2 nuclei. If you kind of want to have it that way, what you need to do is not do what I'm doing and wait for it to spread out a little bit and try to smack the 2 nuclei together by hitting the white nuclei, because that's the only way you can actually damage it, I believe. And I believe the farther away it is, the more damage it actually deals. And yes, even though the Pikmin are actually starting to attack that, like the silver nuclei, or this little silver side of it, it's not dealing any damage. And that's pretty much how you do it. You just kind of let it, oh, it's 4 or 5 pellets. It kind of like spread out as far as you can possibly get them to spread out, and then throw blue Pikmin on them. There it is. So yes, you have to have blue Pikmin to defeat them. And you can get 20 of pretty much any Pikmin type, generally, because nothing's really boosted. So, and if you even need even more Pikmin than that, there are 10 pellets over here for each color. There's a geyser hidden kind of in the grass that you need Pikmin to actually break it open. There's also a stick so the Pikmin can kind of come up and land over there. And that's kind of, and you also have all these pellet poses around. I believe all of them are, there's a lot of 1 pellet, so you can kind of get 2 of your desired color. There's another 1 pellet up there. I believe there's some 1 pellets over here. Yeah, there's some 1 pellet over here. There's another 1 pellet over there. So as you see, you can kind of see how many you can potentially actually get within 1 day. I remember, I believe the first time I actually played this, when I found this out, I tried to get as many Pikmin of every color that I could because I didn't know it the game well enough to know kind of what I needed and what I didn't. And I promise you, I ended up with, I think, about 200 of each type. I kind of over-prepare for these kind of, for this kind of stuff because I really don't know what you do. And it's kind of a good idea to actually probably prepare yourself a little bit in that kind of sense. I'm gonna give it a moment because I feel like I'm just gonna pluck them because I'm scared that the flower Pikmin that are already flowers will go back to the ground. Why are they going way over there? That was weird. I was kind of afraid that the flower Pikmin would just go back to the ground. So I'm gonna go and pluck all of them, and I'm gonna give the nectar to pretty much all of the red Pikmin right now. Also, as a side note, because the one enemy that I didn't face, the Mamuda, I probably won't be showing that off because I don't see a need to come back here. However, that is certainly a quicker way to get Pikmin, even though, because it'll target any Pikmin, even flower Pikmin, it'll smash them into the ground, so it might make it a little bit more difficult to actually get flower Pikmin that way. But it's still definitely a really good way to get flower Pikmin. Like, en masse. I don't think there's any more nectar around here, is there? I want to see if there's another area just flip beetle, because I want to get some of these flowered up. I thought there was 2. There's one that I left, just kind of left alone. Should be another one, I think. There he is. Hey, look, camera angle. And I failed to mention this before, the iridescent flip beetle will actually drop pellets and nectar of various colors. However, you cannot damage it straight on. You can't let Pikmin damage them. You actually have to throw Pikmin on top for it to actually give anything. But after a while, it does kind of go down to the ground. Also, I actually haven't hit enough to actually know that you can actually get 5 pellets from iridescent flip beetles. I always thought there would always be just one, but you could just get multiples. This is something I kind of learned today. So now I had to go back. Yeah, I just realized I took back a pellet. There we go. But anyway, I think I'll kind of just end it here. I'll kind of go to sunset, and I'll kind of end the day a little bit early. I say early, but we're kind of going for a little bit longer than usual. But that's okay. I didn't want to have one episode that's only about 5 minutes long. But anyway, now that we have almost every single ship part that we can possibly get, a new area now unlocks. It's like now is yeah. Now we can go to a new area. There we go. I know I found it's hard to say. "15 days since impact. At last, but a single part remains. Since I've recovered 29 of the missing parts, the dolphin's power is near capacity. In the forest steps below, I see a region where the final part must lie. Clearly, this is my final trial. My life support fails in 15 days. Courage." I lost fear in battle, but my red numbers definitely skyrocketed. Movement didn't go up that much, if at all. Movement went up a little bit. But I think it's a really good day. So you see I got 93 Pikmin sprouted, which is not a lot for this area. You can potentially farm well over 100. You probably get close to 150. I'll never get to 200. But anyway, enough of that. In the next episode, we'll be heading to the last area and also look at the meteor shower. The actually thing only occurs, side note, as it only occurs when you unlock the final trial. And next episode, we will be heading to the final trial and trying to get the very last ship part that Olimar needs. So until then, have a nice day and I'll see you guys then.